Hey, welcome everyone. Really exciting times. Looking to just run quickly through the deck, show you how the DApp's operating, some of the changes we've made, and yeah, just give a really good overview. So, look, let's just start off by having a look. These are this is obviously on testnet, FTN testnet, by the way. Here's a couple of the extra buttons that we've added. The 50% one's pretty cool because it allows you to create LPs or at least get that mix right, which makes it easier when you're creating your liquidity. So we introduced that. Let's just do a quick swap. We'll do a standard one-to-one swap, one LFG, so just the token we're testing with. Pop that through. Obviously the gas fees are really, really low on FTN, which is so good for a platform like this because it lends itself to something that you need to do lots of transactions in. Because with our protocol, you're going to be relocking your VE NFTs, adding liquidity, collecting rewards, claiming, voting. So we don't really anticipate anyone really building too much of a layer on top because we don't have a boosted reward system. So look, I think it's pretty important to sort of understand that the gas being at this level really lends itself to something that you might be doing multiple transactions. So we've listed lots of different pools here, but we haven't whitelisted too many tokens at the moment on the testnet. Now that just shows that you can obviously put your tokens into a pool that can be swapped, but they can't be voted on without a gauge. So pop into the liquidity section. If we wanted to create a liquidity within a couple of tokens, we're effectively going to be setting the token price here on this one, depending on how many we'd add in, because you're the one to create this pool. Now, as you can see, you're going to create the pair and deposit. You can't stake. Now, the reason you wouldn't be staking at this point is because these tokens haven't been whitelisted, or at least the V12 one. So let's move on. So we could create a pair here and run through that. What I'll do is I'll go to the vest stage because this is pretty cool. The 26-week lock is really amazing because what it does is it really changes it up a little bit. You don't have to lock for such a long period, which is really cool and gives you the ability not to have to, sort of make that decision for 4 years, and the only way to exit out of it is to, basically move it on as a V NFT, or if there was a wrapper or something in play. At the moment, 26-week locks, half a year, 182 days. So it makes I suppose what it makes for is that you're going to want to lock your V NFT more frequently. I would suggest that's something we found through testing, because it's 8 times faster in unlocking. So if you don't relock every week, then you're going to see your vote power go down. And there's a little bit of gamify which I'll go through in the voting section, just based on how that V NFT sort of unlocks. So let's just create one here. We'll do a 26-week lock, do 10 equal. Again, the low gas really does help. So we'll lock that up. We've got lots of little V NFTs sitting here that we've been testing and playing around with constantly. So as soon as that comes through, give it a second. We get our V NFT. Now this is coming directly from the blockchain, so there's a lot of V NFTs. So a couple of seconds to load up there. We'll go to that one that I just created, and you can see that it's locked at 9.99, and that's where I was getting into the gamified perspective of it, because what happens is the token unlocks at 0.5 of an equal, or 0.5 of a percent each day. Now 182 day lock, you drop down to 181, and obviously you release by that 0.5 of a percent. It's just the math. But what it also does, and all of these do it, whether it's Curve, whether it's us, whether it's Velodrome, any of these platforms that are using this vote escrow model, they always lock the VE NFT to the start of the epoch. Okay, so what we're doing is we're locking it to the start of the epoch. So when we come over to our voting section, it's going to be very prominent with us, because you're effectively, if you vote at the start of the week, then you're going to have more power. It's just how it works, because you're getting a slightly higher vote power at the start of the week, and if people were to wait to the end of the week, which they might be able to find a better pool, then they would be voting at a lower percentage, because we're going to be back to say a 96.5% by the time of that voting period. So it really lends itself to, where do you vote, where do you play around with, do you lock your token lock your tokens back up to a max lock every week? I would suggest you probably do if you want max voting power, and then you may vote halfway through the epoch or whatever, depending again on the size of your VNFT and the power and the rewards coming through. So the other thing, look, the rewards obviously not in play, because we're not running volume through the DEX, so the fees aren't coming through, and obviously the bribes haven't been voted on. So it's really, with that one, not much happening. But you can come in here and create a bribe. One thing to note is you can only bribe with a listed token. With a whitelisted token. So let's find V32, because we obviously know it's one of our whitelisted gauges. Put the 125, and again, we could then create a bribe. It'll add through into the bribe section. So this is just to show you how it's all sort of working together at the moment. There's a little bit more to do to get it all moving, and we're still fixing some alignment issues and all that sort of stuff. But I wanted to walk you through it. I want to show you a swap. I wanted to show you, the liquidity section, going in there, creating these VNFT locks. Obviously, we've got our voting section here, which is a pretty important part of it. You can obviously, vote at a certain percentage. I like to just tick along here like this with your keyboard, take it to the 100%, because it can be a little bit harder when you're trying to adjust this. But look, I really think it's going to be exciting to come through, choose your VNFTs, vote each week. How do you merge the VNFTs together through the merge function, things like that. So look, I hope it gives you a good overview. You can see that we're moving. The airdrop page is basically all together now. Just a couple of little changes to make there, but that's pretty much all in effect. This morning I did a test in claiming an airdrop based on a wallet address, and it all was working fine. The developers have been doing the same, so we're all doing that. Look, at the end of the day, it's work in progress at the moment. Really good to see some swaps happening and stuff like that for you, and I look forward to giving a lot more educational material depending on your spot within the space, or the DeFi vote escrow. I would refer to it as an advanced DeFi protocol. We're going to be teaching things as simple as bridging tokens from Ethereum over to Phantom, and whilst that mightn't be for everyone, a lot of people know how to do that. We're looking to onboard people into the space, which means getting them to move off using Uniswap to do a couple of swaps into ETH, coming across to Phantom, and then participating in our protocol, purchasing equal, farming equal, and locking it away. So look, again, really exciting times. Glad I got to share this video with you, and we look forward to showing you more soon.